Hi, I'm Donald McIntyre, founder of Etherplan. I research, write articles, and podcasts about Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, and decentralized applications. This series is Getting Started with Ethereum Classic. The section is How It Works, and I'm going to read the article The Ethereum Classic Security Model Explained. The Ethereum Classic Security Model Explained. The purpose of the Ethereum Classic ETC network is to avoid trusted third parties by hosting and maintaining a distributed ledger with money, property, and agreements in a peer-to-peer, fully replicated global blockchain. The question is, what components guarantee the integrity and safety of the network? The combined security model. To answer the question, the system may be divided in two parts. The deployed operating network, which works in a mechanical way according to a set of objective rules, and the social layer, which is the sum of people who develop and run the operating network on a global scale. The model is combined because it addresses the security of the operating network by using proof of work as a physical component and the security of the social layer by using the coordination problem as a political component. In other words, proof of work makes it very costly to attack the system computationally, and the coordination problem makes it very costly to attack the system socially. However, as seen in the diagram above, the proof of work and coordination problem mechanisms are not only about imposing costs, but also about economic incentives. This article explains both sides of the model. Proof of work. The physical proof of work security mechanism is a virtuous circle that has several components which reinforce each other. 1. Demand for decentralized computing. The term decentralized computing is a proxy for secure computing. This means that Ethereum Classic becomes more secure, its service, decentralized computing for money, property, and agreements, becomes more valuable. As the demand for its service increases, then the demand for its native token, ETC, also increases. 2. ETC price rises. When demand for ETC increases, then its price rises in the market. The rising price of the native token is complemented and prompted by ETC's sound monetary policy. 3. Mining becomes more profitable. In proof-of-work networks, miners compete to win the rewards of the blocks they find in the network. To increase their chances of earning the rewards, they invest in mining gear so they can increase their hash rate. This investment has a higher payoff as the price of the native token rises, therefore increasing miner profitability. 4. More processing power goes to mining. As miners invest in more and better gear, more processing power goes to mining. Therefore, collectively, they increase the aggregate hash rate of the network. 5. The network becomes more secure. As the aggregate hash rate of the network rises, it constitutes a security barrier for hackers to physically attack the network. As the network is more costly to attack, it becomes more attractive, therefore increasing demand for decentralized computing, thus reinforcing the system. The coordination problem. The political coordination problem, security mechanism, is a complementary and adjacent virtuous circle that also has several components that reinforce each other. 1. Demand for decentralized computing. As proof-of-work virtuous circle makes the network more secure, decentralized computing becomes more valuable, therefore increasing demand. 2. More core developers. A rise in demand for decentralized computing incentivizes more core developers who may be from different regions and cultures to participate in the network, either contributing to existing node clients or building new node clients. Non-core developers who build decentralized applications or dApps that work on top of ETC may also be incentivized as the network becomes more secure for their users. 3. More miners. As higher demand for decentralized computing incentivizes more developers and induces to higher ETC prices, it also attracts more miners, not only in the form of hash power, but also in the amount of miners, who may also be from different regions and cultures. 4. More full nodes. More developers, miners, and a higher value of the network in general attracts more full node operators such as exchanges, wallet providers, infrastructure services, block explorers, and dApp startups. All these services make the network more attractive and valuable for investors and users in general, who may also increase in numbers. 5. The network becomes more secure. As a combination of developers, miners, full node operators, investors, and users increase their participation in the network from multiple regions and cultures, it becomes extremely difficult for subsets of those participants to collude to attack the network either at the social political layer or even at the physical layer. As with the proof of work component, this level of security makes the blockchain more attractive, therefore increasing demand for decentralized computing, thus further reinforcing the system. If the system is so secure and immutable, how are bugs fixes or upgrades made? As all constituents and participants mentioned above dedicate more time and money developing, operating, investing in, or using the network, their general incentive is for the network to keep its integrity as much as possible. As mentioned above, this makes it very difficult to coordinate attacks, but the same incentives mean that collectively they have an interest in the network functioning correctly as intended and designed. When unforeseeable bugs, flaws, or even catastrophes occur in the network, these positive incentives built in the system actually make it easier and more probable for all participants to coordinate to fix them, or even to make upgrades to the system with much needed or desirable features. Examples of such occasions in Ethereum Classic have been the deactivation of the difficulty bomb, the change of its monetary policy, and the Atlantis, Agartha, and the upcoming Phoenix upgrades. In Bitcoin, which has a very similar security model, ETC, examples may be the urgent fix of the 2010 overflow bug, the 2013 chain split, and the SegWit upgrade, which actually followed a war over the network's block size. Conclusion. Another complementary component that helps with coordination at the political social layer when changes or fixes are not controversial is the Ethereum Classic Improvement Proposal process, or ECIP process, which is a rigorous standard setting system for developers, engineers, scientists, and other participants to propose them to the ETC ecosystem. When and if the proposals pass through several stages, then they may be implemented in the operating network, which means that it still needs the consensus of node operators and miners to actually happen. In the physical proof of work side, another feature that significantly contributes to the security of the mechanism is the fact that there is division of power between miners and full nodes. So full nodes can literally fire the miners in the unlikely scenario they systematically attack the blockchain, which is a strong deterrent in itself. All in all, the overall effects and benefits of the trust minimization enabled by the combined security model and complementary process and features described in this article are social scalability, global seamlessness, and permissionless access of Ethereum Classic worldwide. Thank you very much.